Dandavat, dear devotees, welcome to a new opportunity to purify your consciousness and to adjust our angle of vision by hearing the words of our divine guardians. Today we will continue reading the Chaitanya Charitamrta, Lila Volume 1, and we will continue reading after that the pastimes and glories and teachings of Srila Maharaj. We're going to start with the Bandhana prayers. Vamdeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Ratha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakambitamscha Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj praise. First I offer my respects unto the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual masters and their recruiting spiritual masters and advanced Vaishnavas. Next, I offer my obeisances to my Shastra Gurus, Srila Rupa Goswami, his elder brother, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, and Srila Jiva Goswami. On a higher platform, I offer my respects unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came with his paraphernalia and associates, along with those great personalities, Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Advaita Acharya. And in the highest stage, I offer my obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Govinda, and all of the gopis, headed by Lalita Devi and Vishaka Devi. Om Jnanatimrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Applying the soothing self of Sambandha Gyan, a proper acquaintance with environment, my spiritual master has opened my inner eye and thereby rescued me from the darkness of ignorance, fulfilling my life's aspirations. I offer my respects unto Sri Gurudev. Vamcha kalpataruvyascha kripasindhuvya evacha patitanam pavanevyo vaishnavevyo namo namaha. I bow down unto the holy feet of the pure Vaishnavas, who are like desired trees, able to fulfill all the devotees' aspirations. The Lord devotees are comparable to a vast ocean of causeless mercy, as they deliver the fallen souls from material existence. I offer all respects unto them. Vandaya tulasi devyaya preyaya kesavasya cha Krishna bhakti prade devi satyavatya namo namaha. I eternally offer my respects unto Sri Vrindadevi, Srimati Tulasi Maharani, who is the dearmost object of Lord Keshava's affection. I bow down before Satyavati, who can bestow pure dedication unto Lord Krishna. Sakala Vaishnava Pare Mora Namaskar Itekicha Parada Nahuka Mara Oya Chenubim Prabhu Jatta Vaktajan Bandana Koryami Savaracharana. I respectfully bow to the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas, praying that there is no offense in my attempt to please them. To all Vaishnavas who have been and all Vaishnavas who shall be, I offer my obeisances to their lotus feet. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Jai Misupa Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Misupa Srila Bhakti Raka Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Misupat Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Rupanu Guru Varga Ki Jai. Alright. Now let's try to please the Vaishnavas, to please the deity, to please Gurudev, by starting our day reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta, Lila, Volume 1. We're reading chapter number 2, which is an auspicious vibration that describes the absolute truth. Srila Prabhupada has been illuminating us the three different realizations of the absolute truth, which are impersonal Brahman, the Paramatma realization, and the Bhagavan realization. And Srila Prabhupada has also been revealing to us what are the properties and characteristics of those who are trying to attain each one of those realizations. For example, those who are trying to attain the impersonal Brahman are doing the path of Gyan. Through knowledge and mental speculation, they want to become one and merge with the Brahman. They think they're merging with God, but they're just merging with the marginal potency of God. Then, those who are trying to attain the Paramatma realization, to realize the super soul in their soul, of their soul, they're trying to attain that by practicing mystic yoga. And then, those who are trying to realize the Bhagavan, they are practicing that through surrender to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After revealing these realizations, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj starts describing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and how he's not different to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He states that Mahaprabhu is not a Purusha avatar, is not a Vilasa avatar, is the Lord Himself. And Srila Prabhupada helped us understand this by quoting different scriptures. The Srimad Bhagavatam, the Brahma Samhita, Bhagavad Gita, and many other Vaishnava scriptures. That being said, let's continue reading our Divine Guardians and Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrta ki Jai. Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Text 50. Seitina Jala Sai Sarva Antaryami Brahmananda Brindera Atma Ye Purushanami. These three Vishnus lying in the water are the super soul of everything. The super soul of all the universes is known as the first Purusha. And before we continue, Srila Krishnadas, Kaviraj, and Srila Prabhupada were revealing to us, or were describing Narayana and the difference that he has with Sri Krishna. So the three Vishnus are Karanodakashayi Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Shirodakashayi Vishnu. And they are forms of Narayana, and they all create incorporations with the material energy. In this way, they are attached to Maya. Text 51. Hiranya Garbhera Adma Garbhodakashayi Vyasti Jiva Antaryami Kshirodakashayi. Garbhodakashayi Vishnu is the super soul of the aggregate of living entities, and Shirodakashayi Vishnu is the super soul of each individual living being. Text 52. Esavara darshanityachi maya ganda turiya krishnera nahi mayara sambandha. Superficially we see that these Purushas have a relationship with the Maya, but above them, in the fourth dimension, is Lord Krishna, who has no contact with the material energy. Purported by Srila Prabhupada. The three Purushas, Karanodakashayi Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Shirodakashayi Vishnu, all have a relationship with the material energy called Maya. because through Maya they create the material cosmos. These three Purushas, who lie on the Karamna, Garbha and Shira oceans respectively, are the super soul of everything that be. Karanodakashayi Vishnu is the super soul of the collective universes. Garbhodakashayi Vishnu is the super soul of the collective living beings, and Shirodakashayi Vishnu is the super soul of all individual living entities. Because all of them are somehow attracted to the affairs of the material energy, they can be said to have some affection for Maya. But the transcendental position of Sri Krishna himself is not even slightly tinged by Maya. His transcendental state is called Turiya, or the fourth dimensional stage. Text 53. Virat Hiranya Garbhascha Karanam Chetyupadayaha Ishasya Yati Virhinam Turiyam Tat Prachakshate. In the material world, the Lord is designated as Virat, Hiranyagarbha, and Karana. But beyond these three designations, the Lord is ultimately in the fourth dimension. Purport: Virat, the phenomenal manifestation of the Supreme Whole. Hiranyagarbha, the numinous soul of everything. And Karana, the cause or causal nature, are all but designations of the Purushas, who are responsible for material creation. The transcendental position surpasses these designations, and is therefore called the position of the fourth dimension. This is a quotation from Sridhara Swami commentary on the 11th canto, 15th chapter, verse 16 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 54. Yadyapiti niramaya layavyabhara tatapi tat sparshana hi save maya param. Translation. Although these three features of the Lord deal directly with the material energy, none of them are touched by it. They are all beyond illusion. Text 55. Etadishanam mishasya prakritisto pitat gunahi na juyate sadatma stair yata buddhistat ashraya. This is the opulence of the Lord. Although situated in the material nature, he is never affected by the modes of nature. Similarly, those who have surrendered to him and fixed their intelligence upon him are not influenced by the modes of nature. Purport. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Those who have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead do not identify with the material world, even while living in it. Pure devotees may deal with the three modes of material nature, but because of their transcendental intelligence in Krishna consciousness, they are not influenced by the material qualities. The spell of material activities does not attract such devotees. Therefore, the Supreme Lord and his devotees acting under him are always free from material contamination. Even they deal with the three modes of material nature, they are free from material contamination. Text 56. Saitina janira tumi parama ashraya, tumi mula narayana iteki samshaya. Translation. You are the ultimate shelter of these three plenary portions. Thus, there is not the slightest doubt that you are the primeval Narayana. I forgot to mention that we were actually reading, where we left off, it was the conversation between Brahma and Lord Sri Krishna. So this last verse are the words of Lord Brahma. You are the ultimate shelter of these three plenary portions. Thus, there is not the slightest doubt that you're the primeval Narayana. I'm not quite sure if Lord Brahma knew who he was talking to. He thought he was talking to Narayan. Purport. Brahma has confirmed that Lord Krishna is the Supreme, the source of the three manifestations known as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Karanodakashayi Vishnu, Mahavishnu. For his pastimes, Lord Krishna has four original manifestations, namely Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. The first Purusha avatara, Mahavishnu, in the causal ocean, who is the creator of the aggregate material energy, is an expansion of Sankarsana. The second Purusha, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, is an expansion of Pradyumna. And the third Purusha, Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, is an expansion of Aniruddha. All these are within the category of manifestations of Narayana, who is a manifestation of Sri Krishna. This is very technical, but let's just let it wash over our consciousness. Text 57. Seitinera amshi parabyumma narayana. Tenha tomara vilasha tumimula narayana. The source of these three features is the Narayana in the spiritual sky. He is your Vilasha expansion. Therefore, you are the ultimate Narayana. Translation. Text Narayana. Text 58. Attaiva Brahma Bhakye Parabyum Narayana. Tenho Krishnera Vilasha Eitatva Vivarana. Therefore, according to the authority of Brahma, the Narayana, who is the predominating deity in the transcendental world, is but the Vilasa feature of Krishna. This has now been conclusively proved. Text 59. Eish loka tattva lakshana bhagavata sara pravisha rupeihara sarvatradikahara. The truth indicated in this verse, the text 30, is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. This conclusion, through synonyms, applies everywhere. Text 60. Brahma Atma Bhagavam Krishnera Vihara E Arta Na Jani Murka Arta Kare Aram. Translation. Not knowing that Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan are all features of Krishna, foolish scholars speculate in various ways. Text 61. Avatari Narayana Krishna Avatara Tanha Chaturbuja Inha Manushya Akara. Because Narayana has four hands where Krishna looks just like a man, they say that Narayana is the original God, whereas Krishna is but an incarnation. Purport. Some scholars argue that because Narayana has four hands, whereas Sri Krishna has only two, Narayana is the original personality of Godhead, and Krishna is his incarnation. Such intelligent scholars do not understand the features of the Absolute. Text 62. Eimate namarupa kare purva paksha tahare nirjite bhagavata padyadaksha. In this way, their arguments appear in various forms, but the poetry of the Bhagavatam expertly refutes them all. Text 63. Padanti tattva vidas tattvam jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti vagavamiti shabdyate. Translation. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth say that it is non-dual knowledge and is called impersonal Brahman, localized to Paramatma and the personality of Godhead. Purport. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Verse 11. Text 64. Shunabhaye shloka karaha bichara ekamukya tadva tinatahara prachara. My dear brothers, kindly listen to the explanation of this verse and consider its meaning. The one original entity is known in his three different features. The one original entity known in his three different features. Text 65. Advaya Jnanatadva Vastu Krishnaresvarupa Brahma Atma Bhagavam Tinatandra Rupa. Lord Krishna himself is the one undivided absolute truth, the ultimate reality. He manifests himself in the three features as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Purport. In the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam cited above, the principal word Bhagavan indicates the personality of Godhead, and Brahman and Paramatma are concomitants deduced from the absolute personality, as a government and its ministers are deductions from the supreme executive head. In other words, the principal truth is exhibited in three different phases: the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna Bhagavan, is also known as Brahman and Paramatma, although all these features are identical. Text 66. Aishlokirarte tumi aila nirvachana araeka shuna bhagavatera bhajana. The import of this verse has stopped you from arguing. Now listen to another verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 67. Etekamsha kalapumshaha krishnastu bhagavam svayam indrari vyakulam lokam mridayanti yuge yuge. All these incarnations of Godhead are either plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions of the Purusha avatars. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. In every age, he protects the world through his different features when the world is disturbed by the enemies of Indra. This statement of Srimad Bhagavatam definitely negates the concept that Sri Krishna is an avatara of Vishnu or Narayana. Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, the supreme cause of all causes. This verse clearly indicates that incarnations of the personality of Godhead, such as Sri Ram, Nrsimha, and Varaha, are all undoubtedly belong to the Vishnu group. But all of them are either plenary portions or portions of plenary portions of the original personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrta ki Jai, Jai Lila Volume 1 ki Jai, Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai, Jai Om Vishnupada Srila Isi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. I remember one day I went to the University of Utah to invite some students to a program that we had on that weekend. And I spoke to these three Indian ladies, and they saw my tilak. They asked if I was from ISKCON. I said no, that I was following Srila Maharaja's teachings online. And then I was inviting them, telling them a little bit about our mission and our gurus. And I remember she said, "Oh yeah, I know who Krishna is. Krishna is an expansion of Vishnu, and Krishna has come to this world to teach love." And to be honest, I didn't know what to say in that moment. I didn't really know how to counterattack her argument. And maybe that's why it's so important to read our gurus and the purports of Srila Prabhupada in the Chaitanya Charitamrta, so that we can understand what is what. So by reading just this chapter number 2, that argument of that Indian lady could have easily been refuted. So Jaya. Now, we're going to read Centenary Anthology, the pastimes, glories, and teachings of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Raka Shiradev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. We were reading chapter number 3, Srila Guru Maharaj Remembers. Oh, the last thing that we read was something really interesting. We were reading that the maternal family side of Srila Guru Maharaj, they were acquainted, familiar, and had some recognition of Sri Chaitanya Dev. But the paternal family of Srila Guru Maharaj were orthodox smartas. They hated the followers of Chaitanya Dev. Chaitanya Dev has created a chaotic society, pests that cannot keep their own stand in their social position. It is they who gather to follow Chaitanya Dev. Those who have lost their social position become Vaishnavas, and they say that they are followers of Sri Chaitanya Dev. In my father's family, they held such a hatred, but after this, I became fully converted into a follower of Chaitanya. Such a feeling came in me, not only intellectually, but in the heart and mind also. I underwent a wholesale conversion. Srila Guru Maharaj was a rebel to his paternal family. I'll be right back. Good morning, Q. Yesterday we did not live stream the Bhagavad Gita because Nyasi Maharaj and any senior devotee was here to lead the class and to instruct us properly. So it was just a few of junior devotees and guests, and we just read it, but we didn't give any instruction or any class. That's why we didn't live stream it. Okay. Or apologize for those inconveniences. Let's continue reading this amazing book. I feel so excited to discover the pastimes of Srila Maharaj, of Srila Guru Maharaj when he was young. Then my father died. He was disappointed and dejected. I was the eldest son. He had some hope in me for family matters. But when he saw such a change in me, It may be said that he died almost heartbroken. The burden of the family also came on my mind, but my state of mind was somewhere else. The chance came to me to lead a life of abnegation. For 1 year, the son won't use any umbrella or shoes. I made some extreme addition. I used nothing but one piece of cloth and a sheet for 1 year. And half mad, I used to do agriculture work and service to the cows. Anyways, I passed BA, the Baharampur section where I appeared. My classmates said this was a wholesale massacre. Very few could pass, but somehow I passed. Some of my classmates said, "Oh, by the method of worshipping and satisfying God, he has passed. He did not study at all, but he has passed. Only by worshipping God," they said like this. So for those who just joined this morning readings, we're reading Centenary Anthology, Pastimes, Glories, and Teachings of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Raka Shiradev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj. And we were just reading how his dad was disappointed with Srila Guru Maharaj because his dad didn't like Sri Chaitanya Dev. He didn't like that the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were giving up their social positions. And they were becoming Vaishnavas, like irresponsible people. But Srila Guru Maharaj became a Vaishnava and a follower of Mahaprabhu. And Srila Guru Maharaj, back then, he was supposed to study really, really hard to pass his BA, his classes. But in the same time, his mind was somewhere else. He was meditating on life, basically. A friend of his, who was also the son of an exalted Brahman family, made him realize that when we come to this world, we come to the shelter of strangers. If you think about it, your dad, your mom, your cousins, your brothers, who are they? Where are they coming from? They're completely strangers to you. And then when you leave your body, again, you're born in and take shelter of strangers as well. So Srila Guru Maharaj was like, he didn't really care much about passing exams. What he cared about was transcendental matters. And he was so into Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta and Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. He didn't really want to read the books that he needed to read in order to pass his exams and classes. And his classmates, they were really good friends to Srila Guru Maharaj. They were like, "You need to study, please. You need to pass the exams. What are you doing? You need to read the books. You need to study. And if you don't want to read the books, we're going to read for you, and you please listen." But Srila Guru Maharaj was like, I'm going to read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta. But after the exams, and even though Srila Guru Maharaj didn't study it at all, he passed them. He passed them. And all his classmates were like, "Yeah, it's because you were worshipping and satisfying God. That's why you pass. So if you worship Him or satisfy God, you pass."
Not only just pass them, but at the top.
At the top, he didn't only pass them, but at the top of his class. So what his classmates were ignoring is that Srila Guru Maharaj was a genius. He was a magnanimous intellectual person. Okay, let's continue. When my father died, almost with full consciousness, he passed away. He told several things to me. One was that I will have to marry. I had never uttered a lie. Whatever the effect, I strictly spoke the truth, but I couldn't commit myself before him, so I felt pressured. Whether you marry or not, Don't disturb me in this time of my death. Say that you will do it. Anyhow, the expression came from me. I shall try to fulfill your request. In this way, in a modified way, I answered him. Then, anyhow, I had to marry. Married life continued for 6 years. In the meantime, I went to study again in the law class. But the Gandhi movement of non-cooperation came forward and I joined the movement because there was some sort of promise that within 1 year I shall give Swaraj, independence, to you. I wanted to become a sannyasi, but the countrymen want 1 year, so I thought I must sacrifice this for them. I left law college and worked for some time posted as the secretary of the movement here in Kalna, of the Gandhi movement. In this way, and sometimes in the village for 2 or 3 years. Then it was stopped for some time, and later I was wanted for service in Calcutta. With the help of a government office superintendent, I got some vacation and I put up in Calcutta. I attended the office there. My attraction stays always towards Mahaprabhu. In the meantime, I wandered here and there searching for a sadhu from whom to take initiation, but I couldn't select anyone to my taste or satisfaction. One day, I was returning from the office and I found a placard in Chittaranjan Avenue. Gaudiya Mad Mahotsav, Grand Festival for 1 month. The address was given near the Pareshnath temple. I found this red-colored placard. I thought, Gaudiya Mat must be Mahaprabhu's followers. Let us go and see what is there. When I was a law student, through Suresh Bhattacharya, I knew the founder of Bharat Sevashram, Sri Pranavananda, and he tried his best to take me into his mission. But I flatly refused. My head is sold to Mahaprabhu, Gauranga, so I can't go anywhere else. He said, I also have great reverence for Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Dev, but I think the first stage must be Buddhistic abnegation or Vairagya, and indifference to the world. Second, Sankarsh, Vedanta or Gyan, and the last and highest will be Chaitanya's, Premas. Otherwise people will misunderstand that Prema for lust. I replied, yes, what you say is all right, that Sri Chaitanya Dev's Prema Dharma is the highest, above the Buddhistic and Sankarite conceptions of theism. But Chaitanya Dev has not told us, go to the Buddhist and practice Vairagya, and then go to Shankar and have knowledge of Vedanta, and then come to me. He has told that wherever you are, take association of a sadhu, and you can take the name. He was silenced. I said to him, if you have got any supernatural power, I will be grateful if you can say whether my spiritual guide, my Gurudev, is. But he took the name of some gentleman, Harnath. I went to search for him, but could not find him. But this was when I found that placard and went to Gaudiya Mat. There I found only one gentleman manning the outside hall, and the rest had all gone on procession of Nagar Sankirtan, congregational chanting in the town. Then I had a little talk with that gentleman. I had studied somewhat about Chaitanya Dev and other scriptures, but I found that these people representing the mud had deeper and more sound knowledge than I. Then the party came back from Nagar Sankirtan, and I found Guru Maharaj in front with his danda, mendicant staff. As soon as he reached in front of the mat, Some disciple came and took the danda from him, and gradually he was received there. Dandavat Didi. The meaning of prema is love. Right, Braja Didi? What is the meaning of prema? Prema means divine love. That is the ultimate and highest goal. That is what Sri Chaitanya Dev is distributing. Prema. Divine love. Right now we're reading how Srila Maharaj met his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Maharaj was searching. He wanted a spiritual master. He needed a mentor. He needed a guide. At first sight, I found Guru Maharaj's attitude was that of a complete indifference to the ordinary world. He does not care for anyone. He is self-sufficient. I got that sort of impression from his first sight. Then, Ananya Didi is asking, in what context did he say it will be confused for lust? So Srila Guru Maharaj, Jaya Shri Guru Guru Chandra. What is the context? The context is the following. We're reading how Srila Guru Maharaj was looking for a guru. He haven't found yet Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was searching. And before going to his guru, he went to another mat. And in that mat, he found a sadhu. He found a guru. And that guru told Srila Maharaj that before coming to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he must first practice Buddhism and have some indifference for the world. Then after that, he must practice Sankarsh Vedanta or Gyan. And then after that, he can come to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is the highest. Otherwise, people will misunderstand that prema for lust. And then Srila Guru Maharaj replied to this guru, yes, what you say is all right, that Sri Chaitanya Dev's prema dharma is the highest, above the Buddhistic and Shankarite conceptions of theism. But Chaitanya Dev has not told us, go to the Buddhist and practice Vairagya, and then go to the Shankars and have knowledge of the Vedanta, and then come to me. What Mahaprabhu said is that wherever you are, take the association of a sadhu and you can take the name. So, even those gurus who had misconceptions on Vaishnavism and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew that there's, from the divine love, there is a reflection, which is lust, and can be easily misunderstood, even for us that we're trying to take shelter of a pure Vaishnava. So now we were reading about the moment where Srila Maharaj met his Guru Maharaj. So, at first sight, I found Guru Maharaj's attitude was that of a complete indifference to the ordinary world. He does not care for anyone. He is self-sufficient. I got that sort of impression from his first sight. Then I began visiting. Gradually, I came to realize that I wanted to stay in such company. Unfortunately, I had been unable to find it before, but now the thought came to me, what's to stop me coming and staying here? I cast my glance homeward. Father gone, mother living, 3 younger brothers. They won't be much affected, meaning they're not going to like me taking this decision of moving in the temple with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But my wife will be affected. She will be affected. I don't know why, but a sudden thought came in my mind that if she dies, I am free. This thought came. I was attracted by that association. There were so many members of gentlemanly and educated nature and wholly given to the service of Mahaprabhu. That attracted me most. So actually what Srila Srila Maharaj was saying, okay, my family, my brothers and my mother, they're going to be okay if I move into the temple, but who's actually going to be affected will be my wife. Srila Guru Maharaj had a wife to please his father. But Srila Srila Maharaj was like indifferent toward his wife. What really attracted Srila Srila Maharaj was to have the association of those educated gentlemen who were fully absorbed in the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it was that very day I came to my quarter and found that my wife was ill. I came home that night, and after 3 days she passed away. My mother tried to have me married again, but she could not do so, and within 6 months she also disappeared in Haridwar at the time of the Kumbh Mela. She died there. One of my brothers, Satyan, was attending her with other pilgrims and sisters, etc. I was free. I was visiting the mud. I was thinking that I must cast my faith here. So I thought it necessary to know as much as possible about the mission. And to know the mission means to know the leader of the mission. That is, I'm going to read that again. I thought it was necessary to know as much as possible about the mission. And to know the mission means to know the leader of the mission. Know the leader of the mission and you will know the mission. So I tried to go upstairs to where Guru Maharaj stayed. I will go in front of his room and sit there to hear, because I was thinking I shall join here. Then one day it so occurred that Kirtanandana Prabhu, one brahmachari, stopped me when I was making an attempt to go upstairs. Where are you going? I'm going to Guru Maharaj. I like it very much to hear and associate. No, never. You must stay here in the waiting room, and when you find anyone who will inform you... Okay, I'm going to read this whole thing again because I made a mistake reading this. Where are you going? The brahmachari asked Srila Guru Maharaj. Srila Guru Maharaj replied, I'm going to Guru Maharaj, meaning Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I like it very much to hear and associate. The brahmachari replied, No, never. You must stay here in the waiting room, and when you find anyone, you will inform him who you want to meet. He will check, and when he returns with the answer, you can go. Otherwise, you must stay here. Never cross this threshold. A little harsh. Then I thought, what should be the considerate nature of the sadhus? Why should there be any difference outwardly and inwardly? So I need not come here again. But at that very moment, the position of Sukadev appeared in my mind. I had read in the Mahabharata that Srila Vyasadeva sent Srila Sukadev Goswami to Rajarshi Janak to finish his education or sadhana. Srila Sukadev came and he was detained for 7 days at the outer gate. Then information went to Janak, who sanctioned, allowed him to pass the gate. The next gate, he was again detained. In this way, there were 7 boundaries of the capital, and at each of the 7 gates, he was detained for 7 days. So 7 times 7 means 49 days he was detained, and only then he could meet Janak. This thought came in my mind, and then the next concluding thought came. If there is anything bad here, and they take me and put me onto a throne to worship me, I should not come here. And if there is a real good, and they beat with a broomstick, I must not live. That conclusion came in my mind, and I kept visiting. Okay, we'll continue reading tomorrow. And I guess there is immense value in what we just read. Immense value. And I'm going to try to approximate this value. Number one thing that I spotted is know the leader of the mission and you will know the mission. That makes me really, really value this book, Centenary Anthology, because we're knowing Srila Sridhar Maharaj. We're getting to know him. His pastimes, his teachings, his glories. And by knowing him, we're getting to know the mission that we're trying to represent, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, so that we can know what is what. And that, of course, is going to strengthen our capacity to serve this mission. And then the second value that we're finding in these last paragraphs is the fact that Srila Guru Maharaj wanted to hear Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He wanted his association as a newcomer. But some brahmacharis said, no, you wait in the waiting room. You're not supposed to hear or have the association yet of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then Srila Guru Maharaj felt that was a little bit harsh, that he was not allowed to see and have the association of the sadhu. But then he remembered a pastime of the Srimad Bhagavatam of Srila Sukadev Goswami, when he was detained for 49 days before he met Janak. So, what is the value behind this? That these great personalities, these great souls are extremely humble. They're not complaining. They're not saying, wow, but you're a sadhu. You're supposed to receive anyone. You're so merciful. Why are you letting me wait? They know that patience is extremely valuable, especially when it comes to wait for something very valuable, such as the association of a spiritual master. Not everything is quick as we think it is. So, if even Srila Guru Maharaj was patient enough and waited, what to speak about us? We must wait and be patient. Not everything is going to happen when we want it to happen. Srila Sukadev Goswami, Srila Sridhar Maharaj were that humble and patient. What to speak about us? Alright. Centenary Anthology. Pastimes, Glories, and Teachings of His Divine Grace. Srila Bhakti Rakar Srila Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Have a good day, crew. This was such a great reading. It was because of Rai Kishori Didi that I became aware of the existence of this great book. I feel so fortunate to somehow connect with Srila Srila Maharaj, and we got that chance to connect with Srila Govinda Maharaj, to connect with Srila Guru Maharaj, to connect with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to connect with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, through the scriptures, through their writings. These books are alive. And we have received so much value from Srila Guru Maharaj this morning. What are the lessons? To be patient. If you see there's some value in front of you, you're not going to want it right away, immediately. We must be patient for what's available. We must be patient. All right. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Shimadusudana Giridhari Gopinata Madana Mohana Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Rupa Sanatana Vata Raghunata Sri Jiva Gopala Vata Dasa Raghunata Jai Gosai Kori Charana Vandana Jahute Vignana Shavista Purana Jai Gosai Jaramu Itarada Sata Savara Padarenu Mura Panchagrasa Tadiracharana Sevi Vakta Saneva Sajana Mejana Memora Eya Vilasha Jai Gosai Jave Prajakoila Vasa Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakasha Anande Voluhari Vajavrindavana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Majai Jamana Shri Guru Vaishnava Para Padma Kuriya Shahari Nama Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Dasa Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gaura Sundar 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 Jaya Gurudeva 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol Jami Jupashila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jami Jupashila Bhakti Rakashila Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupada Bhagavan Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai Jai Shri Rupa Guru Varga Ki Jai Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sai Shri Gaura Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Ki Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mad Acharya Vrinda ki jai, Vaishnava Mandala ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mad ki jai, Kol Kartals ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari. Ash Adot Dev, A.Dev. Good morning, Dandavat Didi. I appreciate your association this morning, as well as Ananya Didi, as well as Q, and anyone who joined this morning class. Brishna Banavi. Oh, Prabhu. Brishna Banavi Da Prabhu or Didi? Prabhu? Okay. Brishna Vanabi Prabhu. Nice to meet you, Prabhu. My Dandavat pranams. And yeah, we really appreciate your association. It was a wonderful reading. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Haribol! Haribol. Have a meaningful day. Let's try to remember the Lord. Haribol.